So starting off, I have my stitch markers, my yarn, and my hook. I'm going to start by making a chain that is a multiple of 12. So every 12 stitches, I'm going to place a stitch marker. I strongly recommend doing this. It helps you keep track and it just makes it so much easier, especially when you're making a long chain. All right, so I just did 12. I'm going to place a stitch marker in that last single crochet that I made. I'm going to keep going until it's the width that I would like my scarf to be. All right, I just did another 12. So I'm going to place another stitch marker. I think I'm gonna do 12 more because I want the scarf to be a little bit on the thicker side, but if you would like to stop at 24, you definitely can. I just finished another 12, so I think this is where I'll end. This is a good size for me. So I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to double crochet into the 4th chain from my hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place a double crochet. So this extra 3 that we did will count as your first double crochet, and then this is the second. So now we'll start our repeating pattern that will cause the wavy effect. So I'm going to double crochet into the next 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. So this is what it looks like so far. So now I'm going to start decreasing. This is where the bottom or the low point in our wave will be. So I'm going to decrease with a double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So I'll yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up, pull through 2 of the loops, and not go through the next. So I'm going to go yarn over into the next chain, pull through 2, then I'll have 3 loops on my hook, and I'll pull through all 3. And that was our first decrease in these 2 chains. So I'll do that again in the next 2 chains. Yarn over, go through, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, go through 2, and then go through all 3. So now I'm going to double crochet into the next 3 chains again. So now you should have 1 chain before where we placed our stitch marker. So in these next 2 chains, I'm going to place 2 double crochets in each. And this is the high point of our wave. So I just placed 2 double crochets in this chain before the stitch marker, and then in the next one, 2 double crochets. So that is our first sequence of the wave pattern. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. So in the next 3, place 1 double crochet. So an easy way to remember this is that we're putting 3 double crochets between each decrease and each increase. So we did 3 double crochets, decrease, 3 double crochets, increase, 3 double crochets, and now it's time for another decrease. So in the next 2, place a decreasing double crochet. So that's our first. And then in the next 2, place another decreasing double crochet so that we have a total of 2 decreasing double crochets. Now we'll put 1 double crochet into the next 3. Alright, so we just placed those 3 double crochets, so now it's time to do an increase. You should have 1 single crochet before that stitch marker. So I'm going to put 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. So I just placed 2 double crochets into the stitch before the stitch marker, and now I'm going to place 2 double crochets into the stitch with the stitch marker. So you can kind of see the wave beginning there. So now that we've just done an increase, it's time to do 3 double crochets. So I'll place 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Now that we've done those 3 double crochets, it's time again for a decrease. So do 1 decreasing double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then place another decreasing double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 chains left. So we're going to finish out the sequence by doing those 3 double crochets. So in the next 3, place a double crochet in each. After that, you should have 1 left. Place 2 double crochets in the last stitch. And this is how we will begin and end every row. So we've got a little bit of a wave starting here. To continue on to row 2, chain 3, that will be your first double crochet of the row, turn, and into that stitch directly below the chain 3, place another double crochet. So that's the 2 double crochets in the same stitch that we'll start and end every row on. And we're going to start our pattern again, so in the next 3 spaces I will do a double crochet, and I'm also working into the back loops only. This creates more of a ridge and exaggerates the wavy pattern a little bit, which I think looks a little cooler, so I choose to do back loops only for the rest of the project. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Alright, so I just finished 3 double crochets. So now it's time to decrease. So in the next 2, I'm going to place a decreasing double crochet. And then in the next 2, another decreasing double crochet. Now 3 double crochets in the next 3. Well, to clarify, 1 double crochet in the next 3. And now we're back at where it increases to make the high point of our wave. So in the next 2, I'm going to place 2 double crochets. So once I've placed 2 double crochets in these 2 spaces, I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3. Now it's time to decrease again. So I'm doing 2 decreasing double crochets over the next 4 stitches. So there's my first and my second. So over the next 3 stitches, I'm placing 1 double crochet in each. So once I did the 3 double crochets, it's time to increase again. So in the next 2 stitches, I'll be placing 2 double crochets in each. Alright, so after placing 2 double crochets in each, I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So now it's time to decrease again. So I'll be placing 2 decreasing double crochets. So now I will be placing 1 double crochet in the next 3 chains. And then there should be 1 more chain left at the end. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but it should be there. Place 2 double crochets in that last chain. So that is the pattern that we will be following for the entire length of the scarf. So to start the next row, you'll again chain 3, turn, place another double crochet in that same space, and keep on going with decreases and increases separated by 3 double crochets. And once you get to the length that you would like, I'll meet you back here to show you how to clean up the sides and finish off the scarf. So I just finished the length that I like for my scarf. I did 85 rows. So now that we are at this point, you have the option of just tying off and being finished, but I'm going to do an extra step and I'm going to add a border of single crochets around my entire scarf. This will just clean up the edges a little bit, make it look a little bit neater. So to start on my border, I'm just picking up where I left off, which is those last 2 double crochets at the end of my last row. So now to begin on the border, I'm going to chain 1, turn, and work 1 single crochet into every stitch along the top. I just got to the end of the top row. I placed 1 single crochet in that last double crochet. Now I'm going to place another single crochet just to help us turn a little bit easier in this corner, just make it a little bit cleaner. So now I'm going to continue single crocheting all the way down the side. So it might be a little tricky to see all of the single crochets going down the side. Just do your best trying to find them. But that is what it should start looking like so far. So I'm going to go all the way down. When I get to this corner, I'll do 2 single crochets to turn, continue doing single crochets across. When I get to this corner, I'll do 2 single crochets to turn and then continue doing single crochets all the way up. And then when we get back to where we first started, I'll meet you back there. So I just put a single crochet in that last space before the first single crochet that I placed. So I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into that first single crochet that we did for the border. Then I'm going to chain and cut off my working yarn to tie off. And that is it. That is where we'll end. You could always add tassels if you would like to, or if you want a thicker border, you could just keep on going around doing single crochets. But we are finished.